tonight's topic, we it's sort of a topic that's been going around for quite some time now. As you know, I invented New Age, and way back then when I invented New Age, that was the big part of New Age, manifesting, positive thinking, right? And somebody heard about it and came up with this book called, what's it called again? The Secret. Yeah, and took over as if they invented it. uh, but I noticed that on social media, almost everywhere, there are a lot of these experts about manifestation, um, as though it is some secret that somebody they've just discovered, and now they want everyone to come to know about the secret about uh, basically making your desires come true. Okay. All right. I'm gonna talk about it a little bit, just a little bit, because we don't have that much time. Uh, we'll do the meditation and then the talk, and I'm hoping that I'll give you guys a lot of time to be able to ask questions or to give your opinions about this topic, because it's not it's very much like that fashion trend that when it first came out, I said, it's not gonna last. It's gonna die probably. It's only one season. It's gonna die, and it's now been years, and it's still around. So just like I thought, also manifestation is a new age trend that was going to be around for a while, and it's still around. And not only is it still around, it seems to be gaining momentum. Even people who were not in that kind of a world are starting to adopt it. Okay. All right. Let's begin with meditation. So make the intention that you're going to meditate. Allow the different dimensions of you to respond to this intention, trusting that all the different dimensions of you know what meditation is, and allow them to guide you. Allow the intelligence within the body to guide you. Listen to it. Seeking comfort and stability in the posture, in the body. And once you feel a certain sense of stability and comfort, a kind of confidence in the body's posture, then deliberately scan the posture, beginning with your feet. Feel the sense of stability of your feet, how you arrange your legs. Make sure you make contact with a palpable sense of comfort and ease. If not, then allow that intelligence in the body to guide you and make adjustments accordingly. Feel the torso, feel the sense of uprightness and alertness that the posture of the torso gives you. Make adjustments if you need to. Allow the hands to remind you that you're meditating. Shoulders are relaxed and even. Head and neck centered, so there's no conscious effort in holding the head and neck in place. Allow the muscles of the face, forehead to relax. Allow the jaw, the mouth, teeth, tongue to rest in their natural places. And finally, come rest in your eyes. Let your eyes rest however they wish to rest, whether closed, slightly open, or even fully open. And once you feel confident in the posture, in its comfort, in its conducive state for meditation, gently bring your attention to the breath. As you breathe in, be aware that you're breathing in. As you breathe out, be aware that you're breathing out, without seeking to control the breath, without trying to grasp onto any experience, nor reject any experience. But as best as you can, make the breath the center of whatever is happening in your mind, whatever is happening in the field of awareness. And eventually witness a shift in the behavior of the breath and take that as an indication for you to fully commit to the meditation session. Once you feel that, sign that conviction, sign this intention with a nice deep breath through the nose, gently, fully breathe in, hold for a second or two, and release. And as you release, let yourself go. Let go, let go, let go, let go, let go. Feel the letting go in the body. Rejoice. Feel the letting go in the breath. Rejoice. Feel the letting go in the mind. Rejoice. And at the end of that exhalation, stay where you've reached. Allow the breath to return through to its own rhythm, but stay in the calm that it took you. Stay there. Stay there. But notice how the mere intention to stay in that level of calm and pleasantness, that you find that your breath is naturally adjusting itself so that you're skillfully breathing, so that you can access deeper levels of calm, deeper levels of pleasantness. And begin to notice the manifestations of clarity and radiance through the inner sensations that are now present. Either you're noticing the heart beating or noticing a pulse somewhere in the forehead and the arms or wherever you may feel the pulse, or you may be aware of energetic movement within the body or outside the body, or maybe you're having visions or inner sounds or inner sensations. Immediately remind yourself, this means my consciousness is now more subtle than before. It's clearer than before. It is brighter than before. Noticing these signs, rejoice. There are indications that indeed you are in the meditative state, in a level of meditative state. And let's do the meditation that gave birth to the New Age idea of manifestation. Deep within your heart, there's a sense of being, there's a way of being that is calling you. A way of being where you feel authentic, a way of being where you feel no longer in need of anything, feeling fulfilled, feeling truly satisfied in the very nature, in the very state of being. And as you recall it, begin to feel that sense of it calling you. And bring your attention to the space in front of you at the level of your eyebrows, as though you're sending out the call through that sensation and the forehead. And begin to feel a bright presence slowly appearing. And the bright presence for some may not be visual, but it might be somatic, it might be tactile, a pulse, a heat, a magnetism. And continue to relax, continue to allow this sense of presence to continue to manifest, continue to present itself. So everything that you feel that if I had, I would be. So just think of not the things that would make you be, but just the sense of being. And however it wishes to appear to you, allow it to appear to you that way. Bright, authentic, content, satisfied, self-fulfilling. And feel yourself as a recipient of its guidance. Those moments when you felt that you touched something authentic within you that guided you and guided you in such a way that you tasted a sense of satisfaction. Stay connected to it, relate with it with a expressing deep trust, deep reverence and respect. Relate with it, expressing gratitude, a gratitude coming from a sense of conviction. Indeed, this will be fulfilled. This will be your present state of being. And have a sense that all that you need to know, all the resources, wherever they may be, whether they are inner resources, outer resources, it has the map, the definite guidance, how to draw those resources out of you, how to go out in the world and make contact with those resources, who to contact, where to contact, and stay with that measure of conviction about the truth of this, even if it is 0.1%, go towards that sense of conviction and stay there. Never mind the other senses, the doubts. Don't chase them away, but just make that whatever measure of conviction the sole reality that you need to pay attention to. And as you feel the reverence, the respect, the trust, the gratitude, and notice the hesitations from within that are saying, you're not ready, you're not worthy, situations are not set yet. Tell them, thank you very much. I know you are there to protect me, but I am now ready. And with that sense of readiness, no matter what the measure of it is, bring that presence from the space in front of you to the crown of your head. Feel its radiant energy, feel its radiant presence shining, showering you with light. And as it showers you with light, feel those hesitations, those sense of not readiness, the sense of not being worthy. Feel them being washed away by the light of its radiance. And as it washes away the sense of not readiness, the senses of not worthy yet. The sense of that conviction, which is maybe 0.1%, is gaining strength. And as I feel it gaining strength, celebrate it. Even if it gains 0.1% more, celebrate it. Make a big deal out of it. Its shining presence, removing obstacles, removing doubts, removing hesitations, removing sense of unworthiness, filling you with conviction. And every once in a while, you feel a flash of, the resources are there, here, and relax. No need to run towards anything yet. Just let them collect within you. And feeling ready, completely ready, invite this presence into the very center of your heart. See and feel it descending through the crown, shining the path as it descends. Arriving at your heart, there it dwells, radiating its presence throughout your being. And hold on to the conviction. Everything I need to know is now accessible to me. Everything I need to do, the resources to do them, is now accessible to me. And think of the talk that we are going to have. Allow your intelligence to come to the forefront, that part of you that is able to detect and validate truth. And think of all the people you love who are going to benefit from your understanding of this. And get ready to come out of the meditation with this, with the readiness. Bring attention to the breath. Notice the signs that you are indeed in meditation, the calm, the pleasantness, the clarity, the radiance, the focus. Rejoice so that you know you are indeed coming out of something, witnessing yourself in it first. And with the readiness, take a nice deep breath and release. And as you release, let yourself reconnect with your immediate surroundings. Feel the temperature, feel the clothing on you, feel your seat. Be aware of the sounds, be aware of the lights, the colors. shapes, the lights, the shadows. All right. Well, did I say welcome? If I didn't, I'll say it now. Welcome. Always a pleasure to see you guys. And always a pleasure to, I guess, to read your names if I don't see you.
Also, Phuntsok.
Yes.
Phuntsok. Just a reminder for everybody that Lama Phuntsok is doing this out of the kindness of his heart. And if you feel so inclined to please send anything that you can through his Patreon or through Venmo.
Well, thank you. All right. I don't know the statistics, but I'm sure that if you search it, if you Google it, as the present term is nowadays, if you Google it, Google statistics on manifestation, I'm sure you will find that statistics have been gathered about manifestation for quite some time now, and I'm sure the number is quite surprising. The number of people who at least have heard about it, maybe not the people who are actually engaging in this practice called manifestation. I'm sure the number is quite staggering. And the demographics, I'm sure, will also surprise you. I'm sure it covers a broad demographic. And I think especially among, I don't really know the names, I guess they're called millennials generation. I guess that are they the adults now? The millennials? Okay, all right. Is there another adult below them? Never mind, doesn't matter. I'm sure those generation were well established in adulthood. That is, the way beyond 18, 20s, 30s, probably. They in at one point in their lives, they probably tried some sort of manifestation thing. And what are some of the tools that we've been told about manifestation? There's the storyboard. Uh, some of you probably may know her name. She became very popular with this kind of thing. Louise Hay. Do any of you know her? Yeah, yeah. She was very popular. Wrote a lot of books about this topic. Where I think her method was visualization and also affirmations. Right? Affirmations, visualizations, storyboard. The storyboard is a way of to help you visualize it, and some positive thinking. Um, I think with the secret method, the method of the secret is to have a strong wish, and I think it's a combination of these things: the visualization, to visualize and to believe it and to wish for it. Okay. All these are in some way or another using actual techniques, okay, of manifest what is now referred to as manifestation. Um, and I'm sure if you look at the statistics, I have to say it real fast, so I can't say it. If you look at it, even though there's a broad range of people who are participating in that, who are actively participating, but I'm sure the number of people who actually will claim that it's working, the number is probably about this much. This many people are practicing it, but this many people say, yeah, it works. Okay. So why is it that this many people are practicing it, but only this many people are having positive results that they can say, oh, yeah, it's working? And probably because there are some aspects about manifestations that are not quite ready, clear for everyone. Okay. Yes, indeed, visualization will plays a part. Some sort of positive thinking plays a part. Positive thinking, more in the sense of conviction, plays a part. Affirmation plays a part, and I guess a vision board will work also. Okay, where did they get the vision board idea from? I'm gonna say that this is coming from the what would I call that? Uh, the spiritual teachers who mastered spirituality, whether they are Buddhist, whether they're Hindu, whether they're Taoist, whether they're Christian, whatever they are, right? So some sort of technology that has been that is now the inherited the inheritance of the spiritual of those who are in the spiritual world. This technology is with them, okay, and um, this technology is not technology in a sense of someone invented it. It's not like someone invented storyboard. It's not like someone invented visualization and then they tested, oh, it works. But rather, I would say these were discoveries. Discoveries of what? Discoveries about the nature of reality. What does that mean, the discoveries about the nature of reality? It means that it's not that we are subject to reality. And then if we want to sort of act against it, there's these technologies that can help us undo what reality is doing to us. But rather, these are discoveries about how is the realities, the experiences that we have, how do we come to have them? So that means manifestation is not something that you're going to discover, that you're going to finally get to do, but rather to discover that you've been doing it all your life. You never stop manifesting. The life that you have, you manifested it. What you need to know is, instead of doing this unconsciously, where I end up with results, where I end up with experiences that I don't want, how do I participate in this in a way that is conscious, in a way that is very intentional, where I'm very aware of the direction that I'm going? You can imagine it like we are on this vast ocean, and we are on this we're in this ship, and it's moving. We can do nothing and let it go wherever whatever momentum is taking it, or we can make a decision to steer it. Okay, but it's moving nonetheless. Whether you decide to steer it, it's moving. Okay, so that's what our life is. We are manifesting. Whether we decide to participate or not, we are manifesting. Life is not happening to us, but rather we are constantly participating in the creation of it. So, what is it that these uh, spiritual technologists discovered about this process? How are we creating our reality? I'll give you this example of the technique of how to eventually develop certain psychic abilities. Okay, don't worry, you're not going to leave tonight being able to do certain psychic things. I'm just going to trace the path to you. Okay, so you begin with a life that is mostly unmanageable. It's seemingly unmanageable. You feel like you're being tossed around. Uh, you feel like you lack control. You're having experiences that you don't want to have, and yet there you are. You're forced to have these experiences nonetheless, right? And you feel some degree of conviction, or that arises within you as a desire or as a wish to have a different experience. And this desire to have a different experience gives us a degree of conviction that maybe we can do something about what we are experiencing. and we listen to it. At times, we seem to be guided in such a way, at least we taste for at least for some time on the experience that we want to have. But it doesn't end up being fully being the totality of what we were envisioning to experience. But we have a taste of it. And because we have a taste of it, it gives us more confidence that we are able to act to some degree, at least we have the conviction we are able to some degree to direct and to steer our lives towards experiences that we want to have. As we continue to test this out, we find out that more and more we are able to have experiences that we want to have. Okay. And we, since it all begins with this invisible inner subjective world, I desire, I wish to do something. It begins to give us a conviction that our mind is playing a big role in this. So we invest a lot of time to really come to have a sense that the mind is not just some blob that we sometimes feel that I have a mind, and sometimes we have no idea that whether we have a mind or not. But we grow stronger and stronger to really have a sense of the mind being as palpable of an experience of our reality as everything else that we feel confident about their reality, about especially physical things that we see, things that we hear, the physical body. We have such great confidence in the reality of these things because of the sense of immediacy of being able to relate with them. That's what gives us that degree of conviction of their reality, of their being real. Okay, this sense of immediate sense of being able to relate. So in the same way that we feel this conviction in the reality of physical things, we develop our relationship with the mind so that the mind becomes equally palpable, becomes equally real. This is developing meditation. Okay. And eventually, the more we discover, the more we meditate, the more we discover about the mind, the more we are beginning to see a relationship between the mind and the material world, that they have an intrinsic relationship, a very delicate, a very intimate relationship with each other, especially through the intermediary of emotions. We see that certain emotions create certain physical reactions, and certain physical reactions create certain physical reactions. Okay, so and this is becoming more. We are becoming more and more convinced of this intimate relationship between the two of them. Okay, so and we decide to become very serious about meditating after a couple of decades. After a couple of decades of experimenting with that, and finally, okay, all right, let me really work on this thing. Okay, we begin to really work on this thing, and we make meditation an actual, a very serious thing, as serious as eating. Okay, it's not just something that one day, maybe not, or brushing your teeth. Well, some people. Brushing your teeth is something you do all the time. So meditation become just as important, just as everyday thing as everything else that happens to you in your everyday that you feel it's important for the day to be a day. Okay. Now, once we finally arrive at, as we are developing meditation, we are tapping into the mind's power. We are able to see this relationship that the body and the mind have is more intimate, and we are closer. We are able to witness this intimacy as an eyewitness, you could say, where through our minds We can decide to feel certain physical experiences. We can feel heat with just our mind. We can feel cold with just our minds. We can make the heart slow down with just our minds. We can make the breath stop with just our minds. We're beginning to witness these things. And this is giving us more confidence, more conviction about how the mind and the physical reality are intimately connected. Eventually, we arrive at such deep levels of concentration, and look what's going to happen. Okay, so once we've achieved the capacity to no longer be distracted, once we achieve the capacity to be no longer be distracted, okay, then that little bit of conviction that we used to have before, we seem to be dwelling in just that, as though this conviction, this confidence is in a world of itself, and we are fully embodying this confidence. Okay? And with this conviction, with this confidence, this is the formula for developing psychic powers. Once you reach that level where you are no longer able to be distracted, okay, that fault of the mind is no longer you've overcome that fault. Okay, how do you develop a psychic ability? You simply wish it. Now you're in that capacity of being being incapable of being distracted. You hold the conviction, I can walk on water. And then you witness yourself walking on water. You hold the conviction, I can walk through the wall with this physical body. And you witness yourself walking through the wall with your physical body. What has changed? Did meditation somehow make your body into lighter than air? Did meditation somehow make your body into some sort of change the physical properties of your body, that it functions like what goes through wall, like a radio wave or something? It makes your body into a radio wave and it's able to go through the wall. The only thing that has changed is your degree of conviction. This is the secret and the key to reality. And this is what is holding the reality that you're experiencing right now. It doesn't matter whether you want it consciously. What matters is how convinced are you of its realism. So if you want to, what's that? Leap, there's a term,
timeline jumping, quantum leaping.
Quantum leaping. If you want to quantum leap into being able to do that, that's what the storyboard is doing. What the storyboard is doing is simply you're training your conviction in that thing that you want, that you desire, of its how real that it is real. There's something about visualization. When we are able to see something, why? It's obvious, right? Okay, I'll tell you. Okay, even though it's obvious. When you see something, the level of conviction that you have about it being real, you don't need someone to convince you that it is real. As a matter of fact, you would need conviction that it is not real. The level of conviction is automatic. Okay. If you believe something is flying towards you, you will react. That's because of your degree of conviction about its reality. Okay. So what you are doing with the visualization, what you're doing with the storyboard, what you're doing with the affirmation, you're strengthening your conviction in the reality of whatever it is. Yeah. And that's what structures, that's what what's that? Manipulate. That's what manipulates reality. That's what constructs reality. It is your conviction. Okay. So if you're convinced you are unlovable, you will make yourself into an unlovable person. You will become an expert in witnessing signs that you are unlovable. And we will make those signs the sole reality. Even if it is 0.1%, you will forget the 99.99%. You will focus on the 0.1%. And because you're focused on it, undistractedly, you will make it your reality. Okay. So I've given you basically the thing. That's what manifestation is, and that's why you hear hold positive thoughts, keep believing, keep believing, keep believing. If underneath that, your conviction is the complete opposite, if you don't do anything about the conviction, then no matter what you say up there, it's not going to do anything, because that's not what makes the manifestation possible. It is the level of conviction. So if you keep repeating the words, but underneath it, you're undermining it with your conviction, you're not going to see the words themselves are not going to make manifestation. You're not going to see what you want to see. You have to be able to self-psychoanalyze yourself to find out what are your convictions, and understand that you do not hold convictions because you want to punish yourself, even though they might be opposing what you are consciously desiring to have, what you're desiring to experience. Okay? Understand that we hold our convictions because deep within us, there is the conviction it is the right thing to do. So we have to, almost as if we are children and our inheritance is to govern the universe. But we are children. We don't know, we don't want to abuse our power, so we give it to a regent. Okay. And every once in a while, when we want to do something, we have to go to the regent to give us a little bit of the power so we can do what we want. But the regent is there, where the regent was established to help you, not to not to undermine you. Okay, so do not go to the regent thinking that you're going to your enemy and you're going to have that attitude the way you would have an attitude towards an enemy. Hey, you want to hurt me, you want to harm me, I'm going to protect myself against you. You better give me my power. You stole it. The regent didn't steal your power. You gave it. You gave the regent your power because you didn't feel mature enough to handle the power yourself. Okay? And I think a lot of you, very powerful people, yeah. Sometimes you in your life, you touch that power because you touch that power with a sense of naivete. And then there is this sort of like sincerity within you where you say, the way I am right now, if I have this power, I might abuse it. And you find yourself afraid of your own power. And you create mechanisms, you create obstacles to make sure you don't have access to it. And when you witness yourself accessing that power, you become very afraid. You're very afraid of what you might do because you know you can do mighty deeds. and you don't want to do anything that you will greatly regret. So in a way, there's a level of sincerity to you hiding your power from yourself. Okay, but if you approach the regent who's holding your power, with the understanding that it's a contract, it's an agreement that you made, and basically, actually, you can do that as an exercise. Actually, this is an actual exercise that's in the. You face the mirror, and you have a conversation with the regent. Thank you very much for being the, what do you call that? What's that word? Somebody who's being the custodian of the power that I did not yet feel ready to wield. Thank you for holding it for me. And I'm feeling ready to take on that responsibility. Okay, so have a conversation with yourself in the mirror, talking to your regent, and then explain and approach your regent as an ally who's there to help you, not someone who stole your power. Because if you look at the mirror and you're looking for the enemy who stole your power, your regent is gonna go around and say, who did that? Show me who stole your power. Where's that? Let's get him. Where is he? Where's that person? Okay, because your regent knows that is your ally. Your regent knows that it was a mutual understanding. So when you come to your regent with what seems to be a legitimate complaint, somebody stole my power. There's an enemy. The regent is not going to respond. Oh, you ingrateful! Your regent is going to look for the enemy for you, because your regent trusts you, trust you that you're sincere, and because your emotions that you are bringing into the are actual real emotions. Your regent is going to read the emotions. Oh yeah, you're already upset. So let's look for the thing that's making you upset, and you're going to spend the rest of your life looking for the one who made you upset, and you're not going to find them. And you're gonna blame yourself even more. But if you approach the regent with this understanding that we had an agreement, it's mutual, and you're holding the power for me out of love, for my own welfare. Okay, and allow yourself to actually come to know why maybe you feel that you were not ready. You need to convince yourself that you're ready. Remember, if you are convinced that you're not ready, that conviction will decide what experience you will have. You have to come to a different conviction, a conviction of readiness. Like the meditation we did just a moment ago. If you were completely ready at the level of conviction, I am ready to fully own my power that I have, then soon as you bring that presence into your mind, you would have felt a sense of, okay, now a transformation would have taken place. It's because at a deep level, there is a conviction that you're not ready. Okay? So you do the meditation, and then you come out of the meditation, and then exercise to see if you're ready, if you have the abilities that you were looking for. If you don't witness yourself having those abilities, tell yourself, the conviction is still there. I have to deal with the conviction, and allow the conviction to come to the surface. And when it comes to the surface and you're able to see it with your more mature perspective, that mature perspective, the light of this more mature perspective will shed light. Ah, this conviction makes no sense. And then it will go away. And it will be replaced by a different conviction. But before this magic of this conviction to just melt away or disappear or disintegrate by the disintegrate, you must bring it to the light of conscious awareness. And that's all you need to do. Bring it to the light of conscious awareness. And always remind yourself, all these things within me are not there. They're not arranged by some enemy. Okay? They're arranged by parts of me that is really concerned about my whole well-being. Okay? And approach them that way. All right. So that's sort of like the mechanics, right? Now, when you're doing your affirmation, now you know why perhaps it's not working, because deep within there is a conviction that goes against the affirmation. The affirmation has not reached the level of conviction yet. Okay? And maybe after reciting the affirmation a million times, it might it might crack the conviction that you have already and begin to loosen it and recite it maybe 100 million times. Then it will work. Okay. All right. So while you're doing that, you need to do some other things. Remember, what is it that you need to do? You need to deal with conviction. Okay. So surround yourself with things that will help strengthen the conviction. That is the reality that what you are seeking is real, is able to be real. That's what you're seeking the conviction in. Okay. Remember, if you don't believe me, I'll find the text for you. What is the actual in the formula for the manual of how to develop psychic abilities? It's exactly what I just said. You reach the level of not being able to be disturbed. While you're in that level, you're simply repeating almost, that's where affirmations come from. Okay. Now, when you're at the level of not being disturbable, convictions, it's easy to undo convictions. It's easy to undo convictions. At that level, it's almost as if you've recited your affirmation 1 billion times. Okay? So you don't need to recite your confirmation a billion times. Just recite it once, because your mind is so sensitive. It's so impressionable. That's why that state is called the mind is now malleable. Okay, that's why the mind is malleable. The mind being malleable means your reality is now more malleable to your desires, to your wishes, to your intentions. And when you reach that level, then you simply say, that's what the believe it, that's what the formula says. Now I will walk on water, and you walk on water. Now I will swim through the ground, and you swim through the ground as if it's water. You walk on water as if water is solid ground. You walk through walls as if it's air. You're able to read people's minds because as if it's you're watching TV. Then okay, they didn't have TV back then. They didn't say TV, but TV is how you will understand it. Okay, it's like you're watching a movie. Okay, all these because meditation allows you to access a level of malleability of mind where convictions are easily planted and easily removed. Okay, what is the highest? Okay, all right, all right. What is the highest form of meditation as far as within Tibetan Buddhism is concerned? It's deity yoga, right? Mm-hmm. What are you doing as a deity yoga? Manifestation. What? Manifestation. That's what deity yoga is. Deity yoga is the highest form of manifestation. What is it that you're doing? You're reciting an affirmation. You recite it 1 billion times. It's called the mantra. And what are you reciting? I'm enlightened, I'm enlightened, I'm enlightened, I'm enlightened. 10 years later, I'm enlightened, I'm enlightened, I'm enlightened. Why aren't you enlightened? Because the level of conviction that you're not enlightened is very strong. And that's the reality you're experiencing. And eventually, through your meditation, through accessing subtle levels of consciousness, accessing the malleability of your mind, you're able to impress your mind with this being real. And what you begin to do, you begin to dream that you are enlightened. You see yourself doing enlightened stuff because it's now seeping into your reality. And at moments where you have no idea where it's coming from, you read someone's mind, or you don't even know if you read someone's mind, but you say something and, wait a minute, that's exactly what I was thinking. Exactly what I was thinking. Or someone asked a question and it's something you never studied before, you never thought about, and somehow you blub out the answer. Okay? Because the level of conviction is now is getting stable. That's what you've been doing. That's what you're doing with the chakra meditations. That's what you've been doing with those accessing different levels of consciousness. You've been strengthening, witnessing the malleability of conviction, and knowing that conviction is the very, you could say, if there is a substance that's holding reality, the substance is conviction. I'll give you another example. This is the Vimalakirti Nirdesha Sutra. I think it's Subhuti. It's either Subhuti or Ananda. Either one of those is always the disciple of the Buddha. We didn't quite get it, and another disciple has to sort of like set them straight. So Subhuti or Ananda, I think it was Subhuti. They are unfortunately well conditioned by their culture to believe, oh, men are this, women are that. Okay, men have this ability, women have this ability, and then this very powerful bodhisattva is in the room, and this powerful bodhisattva is elucidating wisdom in such incredibly beautiful words, incredible powerful ways that Subhuti is like, oh my God, amazed. And but Subhuti is really amazed because this person who's elucidating the dharma so eloquently is a woman. And here is the lesson for you. The woman, the practitioner says, oh, being in a woman's form is not is causing you disturbance in your mind. Okay, I'm a man now. And then poof, she's a man. And she understood wisdom in such a way. In the next moment, she said, I'm enlightened. And then she's enlightened. And she wasn't crazy. They didn't have to carry her to some mental institution because she thinks she's enlightened. She thinks these things. She manifested them. Okay. And how is it that she was able to do it immediately? Because she was able to tap into that foundation where you could say convictions are being held. She was just tap into it, put in the conviction, I'm a man, and then poof, she's a man. And there was a very similar example with Yogananda. A lot of you must know Yogananda. Yeah, Autobiography of a Yogi. And I think there's a story in there where, I'm not sure if it's Yogananda or someone Yogananda knew, where the person would say, "Oh my goodness, you're so skinny," and then, poof, okay, all right, how about now? And then he gained weight, and then lost the weight like that. Okay, and it seems fantastic. It seems impossible that it could happen like that. And the only reason that it cannot happen like that, because why? We are holding the conviction it cannot be. That's why that's the reality we are experiencing. So in order to make any manifestation technique work, remember what you're working on is really is your degree of conviction. And but there has to be a warning though. The warning is don't have what you may call superficial convictions. When we say convictions, we mean convictions, not just like you're repeating at the surface of your mind, I am this, I am this, I am that, but below you're saying, I am something else. We're saying at the foundation where convictions are held, where convictions are fabricated, constructed, that actually are responsible for experiences that we are having. We have to reach that part and then plant the convictions, not at the surface. Don't tell yourself, I can walk on water, I can walk on water, but deep within you, you're saying, I'm going to sink, I'm going to sink. And that's your real conviction. And then you go out and walk on water and you find yourself sinking. And don't say it didn't work. Okay? It is working. Your conviction is working. You sink because that's your conviction. Okay. All right. So do not have superficial convictions. Have true convictions. If it's not a conviction yet, then work at making it a conviction. Remember examples in your life, and if for some reason you're blocked from remembering examples in your life, remember examples of other people that you know. But begin with examples that are for you more immediate, or you could say visceral. If it's your own examples, the better. If it's examples about other people that you've witnessed, that's less. But if you can find your own, that's better. But if you can't think of actual examples that you've actually witnessed, then people you trust, their testimonies to you. Okay, and repeat these things to help you break the barrier of the what you might call the negative convictions that are holding you back. That's how you chisel at them so they can eventually go away. Okay. And there are so many different ideas also, journaling, those kinds of things. So whatever you can do to make you have a sense to bring a vividness to whatever it is that you're aspiring, you're wishing to manifest, whatever will give a vividness to it, exercise it, but knowing that it's really what you're really working on is are your convictions. Now, there should also be a sense of acceptance, a sense making sure that you are not practicing this psychological defect called escapism. Okay, make sure you're not practicing escapism. Escapism doesn't help. We have to be able to always be able to ready to deal with reality as it is. Okay. So if you look at it in a sense, not allowing yourself to deal with reality as it is, in a way, you're undermining the very process that makes things real. You're going against the very process of manifestation itself. If you're refusing to acknowledge what is already, as far as you're concerned, a reality. Okay. Acknowledge it, respect that it exists, no matter what it is, whether it is a pleasant experience or non-pleasant experience, whatever it may be. The fact that it exists means that it went through the process to be respected. Doesn't mean because it exists you must continue to allow it to exist. Okay. With ignorance, we're going to keep making a lot of mistakes. With ignorance, because of ignorance, we'll continue to create realities that we don't want, that we should not be experiencing. Okay. But do not engage them with an attitude of adversary. Okay. But understand that through your own power, that you're not quite yet in conscious contact with, that's how you made this that's how you made this reality possible. Okay. In fact, when you have it, no matter what when you're experiencing things that are in your life, even though you don't want them, and they're suffering, they are painful, remind yourself, this is how powerful I am. Even though I don't want to experience this, I am experiencing it. That's how powerful I am. And know that you can do the same thing with an experience. Oh my goodness, even though I don't want the bliss, I'm I'm having bliss. Somebody take this bliss away from me. Take the bliss away from me. Oh, I can't go. Okay. I am being forced to experience bliss. Okay. Even then, you will continue, you will experience the same degree of thing, of reality. Okay. All right. And this is where I think the suggestion that is given, live as if, and this is so abused. Oh my goodness, they abuse this so much. Okay. What does it mean to live as if? And this is actually coming from, again, from the highest teachings, where in your meditation, you're supposed to see yourself as if you're already enlightened, doing enlightened work, doing like the activity. Okay. So this as if is supposed to impress your mind, supposed to chip away the opposite conviction. Okay. And eventually you have the conviction, I'm enlightened. Okay. So the way this is misused is, it's not like, all right, I'm a real estate mogul. Okay. And you live as if you're a real estate mogul, and you put yourself, and you go out, you spend all the money you have, and you go buy property that you don't have the money for. Okay. That's not what it means to live as if. Okay. uh the beginning part of it is, of course, internally try, this is where visualization comes in. You visualize yourself living as if. That's the first level. The second level of doing as if is to understand that you take on the attitude, you take on the, you could say, this is going to sound nice for some people, connect yourself with the energetic level of it, even though it makes no sense to me, but it sounds nice. Connect to it at the energetic level and feel it energetically. Okay. Begin to feel it in your body. Begin to feel it. Okay. And also, very importantly, you must uh, uh, begin to do acts, begin to speak a certain way that will promote the conviction. Okay? Speak in ways that promote the conviction, act in ways that promote the conviction. And this is very important. And when you're doing this act, when you're behaving this way, do it consciously and make a dedication. And each time you know that by having engaged in this action, by having engaged in this way of speaking, you were in a sense collecting momentum. Remember, this is about steering momentum. So steer the momentum by. Remember, this is you make the wish. I direct this momentum towards this happening. And as soon as you say it, try to catch the part of you that is convinced of its reality. Even if it lasts a microsecond, catch it and dwell in the memory of it. Never mind that it's gone, that your mind is in a sea of doubt, but dwell in the memory of having had the experience of the conviction. Okay? And let it go. That's leaving the bread in the oven and let the oven do the cooking for you. You don't need to watch the oven, opening it all the time, asking it, oh, are you cooking my bread? Are you cooking my bread? Are you baking my bread? The temperature is set right. You have all the ingredients. Trust it. Trust it. Don't worry about witnessing immediate signs that it's working. Don't worry about those things. You are not yet trained to be able to witness the signs. The signs are there, but you're not trained enough to be able to witness the signs. We are more conditioned to witness the opposite signs. Okay, so don't look for signs, because if you look for signs, you will find the signs that tells you it's not working. So don't look for signs. Dwell even in the memory of that split moment of the conviction. And remember that lady who just said, okay, I'm a man now. Okay, I'm enlightened now. Remember her. Okay. And really remember moments when you manifested, when you were aware that, this must have been a manifestation. This thing that I have, this relationship that I find myself with, these events that I find myself experiencing. And somehow there's something within you that says, do you remember you were wanting to have that? And here you are, you're having it. You manifested this. And wish to be more in contact or in alignment with that whatever part of you that was able to do this. Just make that wish at that moment when you acknowledge it, when you recognize it. Okay. All right. Now, for those who are not at the level of being able to say, okay, I'm going to walk on water, be able to walk on water, this is what you're going to do. Don't worry about, some people are blind as far as visualization is concerned. So don't worry if you fit into that category, okay? If you can't see it with your mind's eye, whatever part of your mind that you can go have the experience with that part of you. Hear it if hearing is better for you. Feel it if feeling it is better for you, okay? So whatever part of you that is the strongest, that can have a sense of it's real, go let your visualization be with that part of you. Visualization doesn't necessarily mean something to do with lights and colors, okay, with what you see. But it's not really visualization. It's really okay, I'm going to make up a word. visualization. Okay. Vivio means life, isation. So it's lifeization. Okay. It's not visualization, it's lifeization. So whatever is involved with an experience of life, that's what you are creating with your imagination. Not just seeing only. Okay. You're hearing, you're tasting, you're having emotional reactions. One thing you can do is see yourself meeting your friend and your friend is validating. Oh, I heard you're now Miss Universe. Congratulations. If that's what you wanted to do. Okay. Congratulations. So see yourself living where you're witnessing people validating your reality. Okay. And do that part as part of your visualization also. Okay. Uh, in terms of action, okay. I'll put it this way. You need to collect merit. Okay. You need to witness yourself doing a powerful spiritual action. And what is a powerful spiritual action? Whatever is powerful for you. Okay. All right. It could be said that if you visit Buddha Amitabha in his Pure Land and make an offering of 1,000 universes, that would be a powerful way of getting merit. If you're not able to do that, that is not for you a powerful practice. Okay. It has to be something that you are able to do, that you have a sense of reverence for, a sincere sense of reverence. Remember, conviction. If you're not convinced that Amitabha really exists, visualizing yourself giving Amitabha everything that is wonderful is not gonna it's not gonna be that powerful. Okay. Work at the level of your conviction. Do something that you believe is spiritually powerful. And immediately after doing it, you dedicate. That is one of the key elements in all the manifestation things that is not talked about, that is not given. It's not just visualizing and then eventually somehow because you visualize it with your mind's eye, it will come true. Okay. Yes, it's a good component, but it's not the only thing that is necessary. It's not just holding positive thoughts saying it will happen, it will happen, it will happen. That's not what makes manifestation a powerful tool. It is a good component, and you need to put all these things together, but they must all have a component of conviction for you while you're doing them. And it is important for you to really do something that you feel is spiritually powerful, not just once, but on many occasions. If you really feel, oh, this mantra is powerful, I feel a connection to it, and you're convinced to some degree about its conviction, then recite that mantra. Just because John Sebastian from the underground monastery came to tell you the most powerful mantra in the world is, and then give you the most powerful mantra, doesn't make it powerful for you. It could be maybe powerful for John Sebastian, doesn't mean it's powerful for you. Okay. It's powerful for John Sebastian because of conviction for John. Okay. If you have conviction in the authority of someone, and that someone says, recite, do this practice, you may not have conviction in the practice, but because this practice is connected to someone in whom you have conviction, then you can do the practice and it can be powerful for you. Okay. So whatever spiritual practice you find powerful, do it and dedicate the the energy of that towards fulfilling whatever you want to manifest. Okay. And remember, what you're really working on is your degree of conviction. The reason that you're not manifesting whatever it is that you want to manifest, it's not because the tools don't work necessarily. It's because we already have the obstacle to it well created, expertly created, and we haven't done away with it yet. All right. I did say I will leave some time. Okay, you have 2 minutes to ask questions. And if there's anything that I left out, please bring it up. Okay, because I want you to leave here feeling that, okay, I know manifestation. I know what to do it now. Okay, go ahead. Please ask, Cheryl.
Well, the first thing is we're supposed to kind of analyze ourselves, try to get to our conviction, try to get to our subconscious level and see what's really there, what is actually inside of us, because there might be something that we're not aware of. Is that true?
Yes, that's true. Okay. Exactly.
And the second question is the regent. I have to admit I had to look up that word because I didn't know exactly what it meant. while you were talking, I looked it up. So the regent is something that you look in the mirror and you speak to it, and it's actually a part of your own self that you're not aware of. It's a hidden aspect of your own self.
Yes, exactly. In whom we have entrusted all our powers.
Is that the infallible guide that we used to speak to? Remember the it's not?
Yeah, the infallible guide. Actually, yeah. The regent would not be the infallible guide.
No. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. The infallible guide is another aspect. Yeah. But the regent is more of, when you want to do something, you have a great aspiration and desire to do something, and you witness at the same time there's something holding you back from within you. That is the regent. That is a sense of the regent. Okay. As a matter of fact, if you want to have a conversation with the regent, think about those things, and then when you feel that sense of something holding you back, and have the conversation, then the regent is very present at that time.
Yeah. So the regent is kind of more of a close part of you, and the infallible guide is something you are going to become, or you actually are, but you're not aware of.
Yeah, it's the infallible guide is the part of you that you feel you are capable of being once you have all the power.
Like the highest version of yourself?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
And because it transcends time, it transcends, conditioned existence, you can have an actual communication with the infallible guide, and it can guide you.
So is timeline jumping a part of this?
Timeline? Yeah. Timeline will timeline jumping, you mean? Is that sorry? Oh, okay. Oh yeah. That is possible. Yeah. I think somebody somebody said they invented something called something to do with timeline, that there are different parts of you experiencing in different experiences in different timelines, and somehow you can tap into one of them and sort of like download their experiences into where you are. So there's some validity. Not, I won't say. There's aspects of it that I can agree with, but not fully. Yeah, go ahead.
And so will healing trauma help you deal with your infallible self, as though if that is the roadblock for you manifesting things?
What did you say about trauma? I didn't quite.
So is healing trauma,
okay.
like childhood or historical traumas or generational traumas, is healing those, does that help with
Oh yeah,
your infallible self as far as stopping the roadblock of manifestation?
exactly. You could say a lot of the roadblocks come from those traumas as a way of protecting ourselves. That's why the traumas, as a way of protecting ourselves from these experiences that we felt we were not capable of dealing with, we created these roadblocks. Yeah. So in a way, let's say I'm afraid of the dark. It's not real. It's not true. Okay, it's true. Okay, so some experience happened sometime in my life where it maybe because I grew up where it's a beautiful experience, but unfortunately, uh, as a child growing up in where I was growing up, uh, the neighborhood would gather together at night to tell scary stories. It was wonderful that everybody was together, but they kept telling scary stories. I guess I associated the night with that kind of stuff. That's how I have this, I would say, this illogical fear of dark. And I have to force myself to stay in the dark so I can witness, no, there's nothing here, there's nothing here. Okay. But the emotion is real, it's present.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, so even though consciously, I would say intellectually, there's nothing to fear. It's the same place. It's just that the light is not there, right? But for some reason, there's a level of conviction, like something may come up, waiting for the dark. And as soon as I'm in darkness, I'm in vigilance mode, even though consciously that's not what I want to do. But this is there. It's there. I'm reacting already. It's my body is reacting, my mind is reacting, even though it's not what I consciously want to do. So I have to spend a few more hours in the dark by myself so I can heal myself of that trauma. If anybody here scares me one night, you're gonna be in trouble. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Healing trauma will help. That healing trauma, you could say, is the very act of removing a lot of those obstacles. We build convictions at those times. Yeah. Any other questions, comments, anything you feel that? Wait a minute. I was hoping you talked about this part about manifestation.
I have a question.
Yes.
Should I ask through here?
Yes.
Um,
Can you hear Kira?
Hi. Okay. So I'm really curious, when I'm thinking about like a friend that I love so dearly, she's had a really difficult time manifesting anything, and she's at home with her parents, and yeah, just gone through a really difficult time and not where she wants to be in her life, and doesn't feel like she's connected to many people, doesn't feel like she's able to have a romantic relationship. It just feels like nothing in her life is going to, like, it's moving in accordance to her will. And so from the perspective of someone who loves her, how would I use this to support her? Like, is it helping her challenge her convictions? Is it addressing the obstacles you mentioned because of negative reinforcement? Like, what's the first thing you would do if someone is also feeling a little bit more tender? You don't want to overwhelm them, but you can tell that like their life is just not working for them.
Yeah. All those approaches that you mentioned, all of them, you would have to do all of them. And she's conditioned to focus on it's not working. And you have to steer her without making her feel like you are forcing her to do something that she doesn't want to do, but you have to steer her to also witness the positive things that are happening. Basically, steering her towards her own power, make her witness her power, and and also helping her. The very fact of remember, whatever we're experiencing, we manifested. So since witnessing where she herself being where she doesn't want to be is reinforcing continue to create that in the sense of I am powerless, I can create. But that is also a demonstration of her power that she has. But that pointing her to that is not going to help her right now. But help her witness her own power, even if it's something that's this example about like this. Make a big deal out of it. Celebrate it. Make her celebrate. Force her to celebrate it, so that she can begin to steer herself more in that direction. Okay.
Thank you.
My question is, what do you mean when you say psychic abilities? What do you really mean?
When I mean what? Sorry.
When you say psychic abilities.
Psychic abilities.
I thought that would be exciting. When you mentioned that in the oh, wow. That was this. I don't know why it's so exciting. But
psychic abilities, being able to fly, being able to walk on water, psychic abilities, being able to multiply your body, being able to shrink your body to the size of a microscopic size.
Read the future.
Read the future. Those things were considered to be extraordinary, abnormal kinds of things, abilities.
Are those only considered extraordinary? I don't know. Is it conviction? Okay, in terms of like, if I was convinced that my ability to move my hand was a psychic ability, would that count as a psychic ability? I'm trying to understand. I'm trying to understand it on like how it connects to this idea of bringing things towards you or experiences towards you in the future and seeing like that as a psychic ability. Is there similarity there in like psychic ability in terms of your ability to levitate experiences towards you that you want?
Being able to demonstrate what are referred to as psychic abilities is the same principle. That's what I'm pointing to, is the same principle as manifesting. And with the same degree of conviction you have, I can move my hand. If you have that same level of conviction, I can walk on water. You will walk on water. And it's not saying being able to move my hand. I mean, really feel that level of conviction. Like I'm moving my hand. Right? It's like there is this authoritative sort of agency within you that there's no doubt whatsoever. Even if, for example, your arm was injured and then the muscles or the nerve or whatever prevented you from being able to move your hand, but the conviction that I can move my hand will still be strong enough for you to even attempt it. Right? So that level of conviction, you can have it in deep meditation, where you can have immediate experience of that conviction, where you tell yourself to levitate and you're levitating. And the measure of conviction about your ability to levitate will be in the same degree as your conviction about moving your hand.
So
Mhm.
is it a combination of the metaphysical and physical?
Yeah, remember that's what you were discovering, this intimate relationship between the mind and the physical, that they have an intimate relationship. And levitating or whatever it is that you want to uh, witness yourself experiencing in your life. I chose the psychic abilities as an example because of their um, the extraordinary. I mean, we all sort of, you could say, have faith. I would say that they are possible, but they're not things that we witness all the time. But we have faith of their possibility. Maybe we have witnessed something very close to that, but it's not exactly that. That strengthens that faith, that conviction in the possibility. Uh, I use that example to demonstrate that that little bit of faith that you have in that being possible is the same as manifesting. Okay. Uh, Remember, manifesting is not going to start because you say, okay, I'm going to start manifesting. It's already happening. It's a matter of directing it. It's either you let it do its own course or you direct it. It's moving no matter what. Life, existence is going to continue whether you want to participate or not. Okay. All right, thank you for the questions. And it's about that time. Well, way past that time. Thank you very much for attending. Thank you very much for showing up. Even though you popped in for just a few seconds and then you went out so we couldn't see you anymore. All right. So we're gonna end with our meditation. Uh, just in case, I want to end with this. Sorry. What one might refer to as a heavenly existence. Okay. When your level of conviction about your environment is so no longer in alignment. Is this alignment? No longer in agreement, I would say, with the majority of the people in your where you are, then you need to match your conviction. You find yourself living in a completely different environment. That's what would be. That's what would uh, achieving heaven would be like. That your level of conviction about those heavenly realities is so grand, so different than what I call everyday reality, that conviction transpose, what's that word? Transpose, transform, transmute, transcend. Okay, well, one of those trans. You find yourself transcending to a different level of reality altogether, where your environment is completely different to match your conviction. Where people every day, they don't need public transportation because they can levitate. Yeah, yeah. There's a environment where that's, or you call that psychic powers, but that's brushing your teeth. Okay. All right. So don't worry about the world matching. Oh, I can't have this because the world will not. I cannot can have peace in this world because They don't want peace over there. So I'm not going to have peace. Oh, man. Okay. When your level of conviction about peace is so grand, the world doesn't want to be with you. You're just going to find yourself in a different world where that's all you experience. Okay. All right. Get ready now to meditate backwards in time. All right. If you, while you're settling into your posture, if you remember the degree of meditation that you experience, allow the very memory of that begin to infuse your experience, where you begin to feel it in the body, begin to feel it in the breath, and eventually begin to experience it in the mind. Perhaps the inner signs are immediately present, the inner sound, the visions, or the heartbeat. Stabilize it with a nice deep breath in through the nose, out. And as you let go, let yourself go deeper into that experience, deeper into the measure of calm, deeper into that measure of pleasantness, deeper into that clarity, radiance, and stay there and let the breath return to its own rhythm, staying there. And have a sense of us, and do it from the perspective of someone looking at us, and they look at them, and looking at them, they make us into a unit. So feel that sense of being the unit. And as you feel that sense of being a unit, expand it. And as you feel it stronger and stronger, a palpable manifestation of that sense appears in the center as a bright light. And as we expand that sense of you being unit, that sense of self, including all of us, expanding, including more, your neighbors, your pets, until there's a sense of all of existence is included in that. And just like you feel, your right hand feels for the left hand, this is me, you feel for everyone. You feel for the planet, for this soil, the grass, the mountains, the oceans, the rivers, the lakes, for the different animals, different nationalities, different political parties. It's all self. And that sense of self being so concrete, so solidified in your consciousness, you don't need an outer manifestation anymore to remind you. And as a sign of that, that big, bright sense of self that would swallowed everything begins to shrink again, revealing diversity. But you understand diversity as just different manifestation of self. And hold onto this conviction. When I sincerely help myself, I sincerely help others. And when I sincerely help others, I, at the same time, help self. And think of something that is of concern to you that you wish to dedicate the energy, our collective or collective action tonight has created, directed to help address that concern. Gewadi Gyoken Sunam Yeshe Songzokshin Sunam Yeshe Sechung Tamba Kunye Topa Sho. Be aware of being in the meditative state. Notice the signs, rejoice. Make the intention to arise from the meditation state. With that, take a nice deep breath and release. And as you release it, let yourself deliberately reconnect with your immediate surroundings, reconnect to the sense of touch. Notice the temperature, notice the feel of the clothes, notice the seat, notice where your feet are, notice the different sounds, notice the different colors, the shapes, the lights, the shadows. Okay. Thank you very much.